Right, today we're just going through a bag of tricks that we have. We've actually got several bags, including throttles, throttle cables. And I found a gearbox, very handy gearbox. But on top of that, I've got a complete engine. This thing has a brand new gearbox on it, which happens to have a bigger sprocket than this one, so super handy. So they'll both fit, both covered in Chinese oil, but they'll both fit where they need to go. Engine seems to be in good nick, and I can't remember what was wrong with it. It doesn't seem to have a pull start on it, but I think we might already have that covered because we've got some pull starts, some insides of pull starts, we've got gaskets, pull start handles, air filter covers, and you know, we've got two bags filled full of throttles, throttle cables, all sorts of stuff. So we'll probably be able to make something of this. Oh, well spotted. Problem number one, there we go, right there. It's missing the bubble from the diaphragm on the carburettor. Yeah, I don't think we have a way around that. Let's get the other bags and see what we've got. Oh well, our bag of tricks has produced. We've got a good throttle set. We've got loads of bolts and nuts and all sorts of stuff. Then we've got a spoke rack. Not that we've even got spokes yet. We've got a smaller throttle set, just in case it's needed. We've got a piston rings, wrist pin, roller bearing. We've got spark plugs, fuel lines and fuel filters, a brand new carburettor just sitting there, the one we need as well to fit on that engine. Can't complain. We've got engine bolts, we've got full CDI, HT lead, coil pack. We've got more high density fibre wire, spark plug wire, valves, all sorts of bags and nuts and bolts to fit these engines. So we have loads of stuff. Man, we could A-team ourselves a three-wheel monster. But I don't know, we need ideas. Well, automatically the carburettor is sorted for the engine, so I think we should take that apart and make sure we've got everything for that first. So we'll try and get a pull cord on it to pull it, we'll check it for spark, we'll get the new carburettor on it. Yeah, we'll get the engine going first before we plan on making a project. So I will go from here, let's see what we can do. Alrighty, let me bring you in close. Right, we've stripped this down a bit. We just took off like a spark plug, just other various bits and bobs, the carburettor and stuff, just to get at it and see what's happening. Now I've got a ratchet here. I'm going to put over where the pull start would be, and I'm going to try and, in fact, you know what, I can take the ratchet off and do it with my hand. But you hear that? Something's hitting. Right, now, if we take a look down on the flywheel, see all this scoring? This is actually the magnet part, and it's not clearing the bottom of the actual coil part on the magneto. So, it's scraping and bashing. Now to show you, just need to crack these two here. Right, they're cracked. Now can you see? That can move up and down, so that's to give you the clearance. So what we want to do is just raise it up a bit. Make sure we're not having any issues. Don't want it to be too high away from it. So right there for that side. Good for me. Now we can try turning the crank again. See, now it's hitting on this side, so I'll release this a tiny bit, raise the other side up, screw them both down, and hopefully, there we go, no knocky on the engine. So if you ask me, this is probably going to produce a spark, because there's plenty of magnet in it. When I was spinning around the part with the magnet, the coil was sucking down on top of it, so plenty of power left in it. And now the engine is going to turn, so I'll shove the ratchet on the end and I'll show you that it is indeed turning absolutely fine. Right? No dinks, no nothing. So now we get the spark plug back in it, and we'll probably find that we've got lots and lots of compression coming through. I've not got a spark plug key to actually fit that, so excuse my brutalness. Snug as a bug in a rug. Right, that is on. We've still got a gaping gap here, but we'll see what a difference that's made. Oh yeah. Right, so that's definitely going. It's definitely got compression. We need to start slapping it all back together, so we'll get the carburettor and stuff back on, so which will be the gasket, this little spacer, and then bang, on goes your carburettor. We won't be putting that carburettor on because we've got a better one, so that'll be getting shoved on. See you soon. Right, so we've taken the old carb that didn't have the dish off. We'll keep that for spare parts, because I'm sure I actually stole that off the bottom of there to fit on another bike and just slapped it back together again, so handy for spare parts. Now we get the gasket back on. Yeah, oh, that's not a screwdriver at all, is it? Nope. It's Allen keys. That's what I'm saying, you jump from screws to Allen keys to bolts all the time on these Chinese engines, but really simple, go together like Lego, come apart in minutes, rebuild it in minutes. Can't really knock the simplicity of it. You're freaking out one, or if you just always want to learn on an engine, I would suggest you get one of these. It's like petrol scooter engine, a 50cc or even a 23 or 32cc, something like that. They're really cheap. You can buy them brand new for about 60 quid. You can take them apart, build them back together, see how they run. It's not hard. You've got a magnet in this bit that passes through here, it produces a spark, so these two need to be close to each other. The spark comes through here and comes out the plug inside the engine, so it's not all that tough. You just need a hole to breathe out and a hole to breathe in. On the hole you breathe in, you have the petrol control stuff mixed with the air. On the hole to breathe out, you have an exhaust. On this side, that's a gearbox. Usually it would just have this bit coming out of it, the sprocket, but yeah, they're not too hard. You can learn stuff on them really quick. Right, so that's now onto the head. We'll give it another blast and see if we can get it to turn. That's better. Right, now we need to find a way of spinning this up. Packing them on. Well, after a complete nightmare, the pull start we had was also snapped on the inside. The back of the ring had come off. So we checked the other pull starts, and the one that was falling apart and in pieces was the only one that would fit. It had this style on it, so we've just had to take this apart, fix a recoil spring with zip ties and a nail onto the table just to hook the spring on, and then use this part of the tool to put it down and wind it, and then slip that over the top, tighten it onto the spring, let it relax, turn it around. You could pop your spring with your zip tie off, sit it inside, line up your pin to hold it in place and press it into place and push the rest of it down. As that goes down, it will push the zip tie off at the sides. It sits in there perfectly. Much easier said than done, and took mega attempts. I even took the spring off the face and nearly took my finger off. I'm not sure if we've actually got bolts to hold this on, but no doubt we'll find them somewhere. So next up would be just attaching a handle on. So we just slot a string through, pull it out, make a knot. Now you would probably be better off making a double knot, because single knots have got a habit of coming out of oily string, so I'll just make sure the knot's pulled extremely tight. Yeah, I never thought that through, did I? So pretend you never seen that, and I'll get rid of the evidence. Right, now I know the knot's to be down here, so put the knot as far down as we can, and then we'll use pliers to keep it tight. It's on there. I like to get the string through and yank the knot until it's jammed down the hole. And we can sneak this. There used to be a little cap that went in on here, but I don't know where it is. In fact, it was probably on a totally different handle. But there we go. The recoil starter done. We've done the carb. It's not really got an air filter, but we could make one out of a bit of sponge or something. Yeah. Next up is to try and get a little bit of petrol down the head. See if we can get it to the light. So let's get this thing attached.